420 BlazeRush it, yo. It's time to throw some chairs and drink some Mountain Dew. Throw in the chair acquisition at BlazeRush from Targem Games, built on the Hammer engine. So you gotta stop for the hammer time. You can pick it up for $9.99. And what is it? BlazeRush is a dynamic arcade racing survival game with no health, no leveling, and no breaks. You can assemble a team of friends to play in local or online multiplayer. Choose a car to your taste and chase, blow up, and cut off. Adapt your style and tactics to new enemies, obstacles, and tracks, which is brilliant and all. So let's kick it off. Chair acquisition. We have our category, or we have our chair metric. 1 chair means that it's shit. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. And 4 chairs means that that's all basic. And you gotta learn how to hide your feelings about it. We also have our categories of doom. Makes it the working, shiny sounds, controls, and fun. So let's kick this off. Did you 420 blaze it when the working of your computer?
Spike, #1 in Street Fighter, you know.
I'm the best.
I'm the best, baby. No, what I did do is test it on the Octo-Core 980 4K box of business in front of my fingerness here, and it really ran genuinely without a hitch. I was thinking at first it might be Unity, but then I changed resolution windowed mode and it worked. Oh, wow. All right, not Unity. Definitely not. So, no issues with getting this up and running. I'm going to give it the 4 chairs as it deserves.
Yeah, on the Fedora 2064-bit AMD 1090T NVIDIA 670 superclock box up by my footness over there. Yeah, it worked right out of the box. One thing I did like is that by default, full screen windowed borderless mode. That should be like a standard thing. I don't know why it isn't, but
because real people run separate X screens.
Oh, go fuck yourself. 4 chips.
Yeah, on the Amiga with the FX 8370E and the GTX 970 running Corora 2164-bit, ran out of the box. No complaints whatsoever. I was also very surprised that this was actually a homebrew engine. It's the Hammer engine, as they call it.
Stop.
But yeah, these guys made it, and it works. And it works kind of sort of well with Linux. We'll get into the specifics a bit later on. 4 chairs.
And on my Octa-Core 8320 with my 6670 Radeon HD running the 64-bit Ubuntu 1404, it ran flawlessly. Started a full screen borderless window, and 4 chairs.
All right, so that's 4 chairs for mixed with the working on our 4-host extravaganza, or is it a sex extravaganza? Who knows? Shiny and sounds. Ben, what did you think about
Boom,
that?
let's bring it. All right. You got disappearing car models, Brad. Yes, you do. Don't deny it. But none of that low rent, always disappearing nonsense. Nope. This happens with because fuck you, that's why randomness makes racing very interesting when things just disappear randomly. Who's in the lead?
Just
I
see the
don't know.
shadows.
That thing. Yeah, I know there's a fix, but without checking if like the main thing that people are putting their eye pussies on is showing up, yeah, it's no, bad form. Outside of that, in all fairness, it looks pretty good for your standard arcade racing lot. As far as the sounds, I just muted them. They were there, but we'll get into a bit more of that later. But for that disappearing, reappearing car magic, I'm probably going to have to give it the 3 chairs, which I don't have here for some reason.
Edit in post.
We'll fix it in post. Whatever. Good thing you got the 2-chair one. Whoops, spoilers. No, so like Ben said, the car models would be great if I could see them. There is a fix. If you go to the beta settings, you can go to the test beta, and that fixes the issue fine. But like Ben brings up an incredibly valid point. Make sure that you can actually see what the fuck is going on with your game before you push it to the Steam depots. That's I don't know. The once you can see everything aside from the tire treads, they look all right. It's sort of a cartoony vibe. It's not great. It's not it doesn't really have a unique art style. It's just kind of there. As for the sounds, they were there when we were playing multiplayer. I was too busy listening to 3 Inches of Blood while the single player stuff was going on, so I can't really comment on that. But I can say that it gets 2 chairs from the shiny and sounds department.
Yeah, originally I was going to give it 2 chairs as well because, like you guys have mentioned, there's a bug that causes opponents' cars to become invisible. All you can see are their shadows or the add-ons that appear on the model.
Oh, it was my car, dude. I couldn't.
Yeah, my car always showed up. It's just the opponents, sometimes they were kind of not there. And you just see like the exhaust tubes coming out whenever they picked up one of the boosts. Yeah, so other than that, it was actually kind of awesome. I just checked the Steam forums just to see if anyone else was running into any similar situations, and I found a threads of people just saying that, oh, this happens to me too, and this happens to me too, and they're like, okay, we have no idea why, but we've just uploaded a build that may fix it to the testing depot. Just, right click, go to the betas, select test, and enable it. So yeah, after I did that, everything worked. I really can't complain. So 3 chairs. Doesn't get 4 because, bug.
No 3-chair graphic.
As for me, like, I didn't have the disappearing car magic that they had, because I'm running the open source drivers. So no big digs, OpenGL 3.0, woo! But in terms of graphics,
can't hear you over OpenGL 4.5. What?
Yeah, the open source drivers actually do OpenGL 3.3 now. Just saying.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't hear you over OpenGL 4.5.
So, shut
anyways,
up.
like in terms of graphics, like this is like everyone's saying, like it's cartoony. It's nothing really amazing here. Like nothing stands out as saying like this is an amazing looking game. But like the music was fairly well done. Nothing, again, no single track stuck out in my mind. So really, I'm just going to give it 3 chairs.
All right.
All right. So that is 2 chairs for Shiny and Sounds. Up next is Control. Then.
All right, with the controls, here's the business that you want to deal with. Some issues. I wanted to hate the controls with this, but it is so properly fucked. It adds a whole new level of challenge. In this moon universe, you don't navigate by turning your tires left or right. No, you point your car organ in the general direction and you just have fucking at. That's not racing. That's dragging shit with an invisible string. And it did genuinely take me a while. I was like, why is this? Because I've played styled games like this. I remember on the original NES, there was some truck racing game that, you turn left and right and all this, but as soon as you start hitting...
Micro Machines.
It wasn't Micro Machines. Shut up. As soon as you go around a corner, it's like, well, I should turn because that's how it would turn. It's like, nope, you got to point it. Completely fucked with me. Didn't like it. Didn't enjoy the controls. But there are some things to love about it that we will get into in short order. So I'm going to give that the 2 chairs of the business, J-Man.
Yeah, I didn't really have an issue with the controls. I can see why it threw me off at first for sure, because when you're playing normal racing games, you expect there to be like some acceleration button, and then you do left and right to steer. The camera in this doesn't really allow a setup like that. So what you like then said, what you do is you point and you have like a little arrow in front of your car. It actually kind of reminded me of how Forced controlled. Do you remember Forced?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of how Forced controlled, except you're moving a car around. But after a minute of that, you get used to it, and you can. I never really had any issue beyond that, so I'll give that 3 chairs. Our fancy new 3-chair graphic.
Yeah. So yeah, much to echo what Ven and Jordan already said. What the fuck is up with those gamepad controls? You expect it's a racing game. You expect to accelerate with one button and then just use like the analog stick here, turn left and right. Nope. You want to turn left, you just turn left. And then you kind of have to adjust as the track moves along. Barring the fact that I had to use Xbox DRV to get this and the PS2 DualShock to work, why? It doesn't make any sense. But good news, playing with the keyboard or with either the WAS or the arrow keys, it works as a racing game should. So that's the reason it's not getting 1 share for this category. It gets 3 because, yeah, it's playable with the keyboard.
Okay. Well, everyone stated it, you know, with the controller scheme. Like, it took me a minute to get used to it. But, like, overall, like, it was okay once you get used to it. Like, again, you're dragging it by the string, like Ven said. So, yeah, I'm really going to give it 3 chairs. That's all I'm going to give it.
Okay, so that's 2 chairs for controls. And finally, our subjective category. Fun. Ben, did you enjoy yourself?
All right. We'll get into this. The short or single player can eat a glorious bag of dicks. I mean, seriously. And the camera squirrels the hell out for fuck all reason. I know P-Man's going to be like, but there's an option in the control.
There's an option to change that.
Well,
yeah.
Unless that option comes up on the main screen and says, our camera is fucking busted, maybe you want to change it, broad. Outside of that, but, for fun, getting pissed and playing the try to stay on the track game if you ever played any type of racing, because your mind's just going to melt and eventually it just gives up and it's like, all right, let's just have fun with this. And talking shite with your mates is borderline enjoyable. So, all said and done, I will give this 2 chairs with an asteroid. J-Man.
All right, it's a decently fun little combat racer. I thought I'd be relatively indifferent to this going into the game to test it for this week. I actually found myself having some fun going through the single player campaign and the multiplayer. Again, I can't believe I have to say this in the year 2015 now, but multiplayer actually does work on this, which is nice under Linux.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about cross-platform, though. We don't have any Windows bros we can test with, or Mac bros for that matter. I'm not sure if this game is out on Mac, though. What else? It's not perfect by any means, really, but it's fun. You will, if you don't take it too seriously, you'll enjoy yourself and play with some friends, like Ben said. Get pissed and try and blow each other off a track. It's all good fun. I'll give that.
Drift
3
Simulator
chairs.
2014.
I'd buy that for $1.
3.
3.
So be it.
Alright.
I'll let all the
So
chairs.
Yeah.
none.
I going back to what Ven was talking about earlier, the camera does squirrel a bit, but I suffer from total biscuit syndrome, and the first thing I do whenever I start a new game
You have cancer?
is I go to the options menu. Maybe. But yeah, the first thing I do when I get a new game is I go to the options menu and I dig around, because more often than not, I have to change the controls. But I was looking at the video options and it was like, focus camera on local cars only. Yeah, that looks like something I want to do. Just enable that. Really no problems. But yeah, as for the game itself, I don't hate it. It's not going to change anyone's mind when it comes to the racing genre of micro machines and the likes, but I really don't hate it. It's genuinely good, and it's good for a change. You know, we get a lot of shit games here in L.G.C. It's good to have a game you don't hate every now and again. That's pretty awesome.
It's surprising, too.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. So for me, considering all that, 4 chairs for the fun.
For me, like, the game is nothing spectacular in terms of fun. It definitely lacks a Steam leaderboard because, like,
Who the hell uses that?
yeah, who uses that? People who care. People who care, Pedro. And
No one cares.
yeah, no one cares.
Really?
But
No one
but
does.
really, no one cares. But like because you do actually have some actual races. But overall, the game is fun when you're hanging out with guys and like hanging out with your buddies at your place, and you're trying to knock them off the track, or you're shooting them with rockets. Like the game is fun, like as a party game when you're just futzing around. So I'm gonna give it 3 chairs.
All right, so that's 3 chairs for fun. It's also fun if you're trying to play over a Hangout Skype combination and the audio doesn't work. But you can see that going on in the B-reel footage playing right now if you're watching the podcast or the video version of the podcast. That comes out on Tuesday. So, final score is 2 chairs with an asteroid. Ven, why is your heart breaking?
I like it. I don't hate it. Yeah, that seems like a bit of conundrum, doesn't it? Party game. That's all I can say about this. You're not going to have fun with a single player with this. It still has some bugs. They're working on it in the repo. Good on them for getting this business over here. And yeah, if you're looking for like challenging arcade racing or anything like this, this is not your dice right here. What did this clock in at originally?
$10.
$10. Yeah. Pick up a 4-pack for your mates. Just sit around, play local multiplayer, play it online if you got some audio communications, because you're just going to enjoy the insanity of it, especially if you're like me, that you're used to, you know, physics kind of working outside of Moonverse that this game is located in. And after you get through the initial frustration of wanting to punch children or getting tased, you'll like it. J-Man?
Yeah, it's decently fun. It is no more than a party game, but when you judge it on that merit, it's a good party game. So I'd recommend picking this up.
Yep. It's a very, very refreshing party game. It's something you can definitely play, and for $10 to
You
me,
should play it
that's
with
a no-brainer.
Nori for sex.
Well, yeah, if you have sex and you can, you know, get good sex for $10, good luck. But yeah, if you can do that, sure, go right ahead.
Well,
Sandy-
that's what Ben charges. Sandy charges $5.
Yeah, I
yeah,
charge 5.
Sandy is kind of a cheaper one, but yeah.
Well,
How
it
about you, Sandy?
is the winter sale with me, so you can really push it. 66% off. So I'm beating Ben right now. So definitely give me a call.
Well, yeah, you're
Game, Sandy.
Sandy,
Hey.
pretend you had final
Yeah.
thoughts and you were on a show.
Yeah, but like really my final thoughts are like the game is fun. It's nothing amazing. It's definitely something that you could come back to, like in terms of playing with other people. Like you can bring people to your house, and this is something that you would bring up to have as a party game. It's definitely worth getting to have in the library. Yeah, until they get the single player sorted out, like definitely steer clear of that. But like multiplayer is a lot of fun, even online. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it, you know.
So there you have it. BlazeRush, better game than Retro Booster. Coming.